Hello, everybody. Welcome to the +44 podcast from Amazon Music with me, Sideman.
And me, Zeze Millz.
Now, for the people here that might not know who we are, +44 is a weekly podcast in the Amazon music stream of things where we talk about the latest hot topics, trends, and new music releases on the +44 playlist. Plus, we are also joined by special celebrity guests.
Yes, but today is extra special because after our first live show, which went really, really well last month.
Superbly.
Oh, thanks, David. Thank you. And also, you'll realise that me and David, we don't really agree on much, but that's what makes it a really good working relationship. And so, as I was saying, Amazon has asked us to do another live one. So we're here today at the Amazon Black Friday Live at Victoria House in London with a live audience. Live audience, say hi. Yes, right. nice. And we're streaming on Twitch.
Yes, that is right. And if this is the first time you're hearing about it, Black Friday Live is 4 days of celebrity events, live streams, and giveaways starting today, the Thursday, 25th of November, and running all weekend until Sunday, the 28th of November.
And if you're in London, you can stop by and join one of the exclusive ticketed events, or if you prefer, you can watch from the comfort of your own house. Either way, all details, including opening hours, schedule, live streams, and ticketing information are available at www.amazon.co.uk/Black Friday Live.
Now, okay, yeah, this is the reading part of the segment. Don't worry, we'll start looking at you guys soon. But yes, okay, so audience, I need you guys to get your make some noise vibe ready. So like, make some noise! You, sir, in the glasses, you did not make noise. I was watching you. Okay, so because today is special, we have not one but two special guests. So I need to make some noise for writer-director Reggie Yates! And writer, director, and actor Ameen. All right, we are inside. We can stop looking at notepads now. We can get straight to it. Ameen, let's start with you. Boxing Day. Now,
First of all,
yes,
we didn't ask them how they are. How are you?
I don't really
guys?
listen. Stop. So we ain't got time for that now. I'm assuming you're both fine. Now, with that being said, yes, Boxing Day. Obviously, you've got this this predominantly black cast. Film based around Christmas time, and this is one of the first time this has ever been done in the UK, which is an amazing accomplishment. I just want to know about funding. How did funding come about?
Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming here, and good evening to you both. I was just sitting here, right, and it was really I've not lived in England for so long, and it's really nice to see like two beautiful black people hosting this proper event for Amazon. So let's I was kind of teary jerky. I was like in the movie all of a sudden.
Shout out to all the man them inside.
All the man them, you're keeping it fully man.
Hey,
yes, blood.
There's three of us in here.
All right. We are set. In terms of funding, I think funding comes at sometimes at great difficulty. It can be challenging, right? But I think with this particular film, it came in a moment where, you know, the powers that be, BFI, Film 4, they felt that it was necessary. I remember Natasha Warrington saying to me that reading the script was like a light in a dark time, because she got this script at the height of COVID, when COVID started hitting. And so I think they were inspired and moved to take action quickly. And that's the beginning of how we got it made, you know? I also threatened to pay for it a bunch of times.
You threatened to pay for it?
I really did. Like, I was so determined to have a film that spoke to another part of British culture, a culture that I think that we all know, we all love. We have friends and family in that culture, and a further addition to some of the great kind of holiday rom-coms that I've already loved, and they felt the same.
Why a rom-com, and especially why a rom-com based in a Christmas period? Like, what made you go for that direction?
Because I love love, and I'm trying to find love in my life. Yeah.
And you haven't found anyone.
What's that? What's that? What's that?
Wait
Blind
a minute.
date. Blind date.
You've been living in LA for however long, and
No, but I checked my business.
You ain't found no one. You not found anyone. I was just telling David, me and Amel actually, we are birthday twins. We have the same birthday.
Will you flirt with every man that comes on our show?
July the 30th is our birthday.
It is.
And I was telling David that I used to have a really big crush on Amel.
Operative word, they used to. Go.
Yes.
And who else?
Oh, yeah, and I used to have a crush on Reggie, but Reggie didn't know that.
She used to have a crush on both of the people that we're interviewing.
Wait, hang on a second. Why is it used to? What have we done wrong? What's changed? Have we not grown into our ears? Like,
no,
what's
you
happened?
have, but then what happens is when the crush is not fed, it goes. And the crush wasn't fed. So, as in, no one asked to take me out on a date. No
Reg,
one,
go. Come
you know
on,
what I
man.
mean? So it goes.
No, I'm over it now. I ain't feeding that crush, babe. I'm over it. Sorry, Sideman.
Take that advice for yourself, though. If my crush for you is not fed at some point, okay, then it's going to die also in 2020.
I hope it's dying slowly. I want it to die. That's why I'm not watering it. Anyway, move on.
All right, Reggie. Let's go. Move on to your film Pirates. Now, what was the inspiration behind making this film?
Okay, so Pirates is a comedy drama coming-of-age movie set in 1999. 3 kids driving from North London to South London in a yellow Peugeot 205 trying to get into Twice as Nice. The backdrop is the UK garage club scene, and it's a time capsule of a movie in a lot of ways. It's essentially a coming-of-age movie. You know, we've all seen them, we've all grown up watching them and loving them, but we've never had one in London, and we've definitely never had one with a UK garage soundtrack. So for me, it was about the precinct that I found really interesting, much like Ameen. The version of London that I exist in, I've never seen on a big screen.
Yeah.
It's fun, it's inclusive, it's not scary,
Yeah.
there's not gangs on every corner, there's young men who are having fun, and at the center of their story is joy. So that was the big link.
So that's what I liked about both of the films, is that I often talk about not every day is gang, kill. Like, there's loads of people in London, like black people, that don't go through that. But the films that we often see is that. So it's nice to see. Were you guys worried about that, though? Because you know what kind of things people like?
Okay, so it's important to say that those stories have value, because
Yes,
I think
they
we'd
do.
all be lying if we say that there aren't situations, particularly in a city like London, that are less than charming, that are less than warm, you know? But as somebody who grew up on not the nicest of council estates in North London, I circumvented that, you know? I found an outlet. I found drama as a kid, and I'd go and show off in drama class of improvisation as opposed to trying to impress the boys on my estate, and that leading to the inevitabilities that come with that. So I think for a lot of the kids that went to uni, that wanted to get a job, that actually wanted to do something other than what we've seen, this film's for them.
So are you nervous, though, about these type of films? Because like you said, we haven't seen these type of films before. So is there a little bit of like apprehension, like, I wonder if people are going to like it? I wonder if...
Do you know what's funny? We were having that conversation literally backstage. We were talking about the fact that it's not proven that these films can find an audience.
Right.
And the question is, who are the audience for these films? So we're going to find out. And in a lot of ways, it's both an incredibly beautiful thing, but a really sad thing that we don't know if a predominantly black cast or all lead black cast rom-com and the coming-of-age comedy with 3 young men of colour leading it can be successful or not, because we've never seen them before. But it is a moment, which is why I'm so proud to be here with my brother, because we're young writer-directors, youngish, a Jace, nearly 40.
Young.
Young a Jace.
Hold on to that young Reg.
Exactly. I'm
You're
just
doing
going
well.
to
Young-esque.
keep doing
Keep
clean
going.
shave, keep doing
it,
shea
keep
butter,
doing
youngish,
Shea
younger
butter.
Jace. But we're releasing movies a week apart from each other. And that's never happened before for young, black, first-time writer-directors. So it's a moment that we should celebrate.
Yeah, let's celebrate that.
I think it's nice as well that you guys, because I've seen you've done quite a few press things together. I think it's nice that that's happening as well, because I think sometimes what also happens is when there's 2 of something that's not been done before, it's easy for them to be pit against each other.
Especially in our community.
Yeah, it's like, oh, which one's going to do better? So I think it's really
I specifically, we have the same agent,
Right, okay.
and same like writing agent, Rob Taylor, who's fantastic at his job, and he's a bit of a visionary and just gets behind things. And I called him up and said, look, Reggie's film's coming up before mine. We need to go out there in the world and do press together. We're of similar mindsets, and we both, very separately, not spending a lot of time together, created these worlds that are reflective of how we grew up. You know what I mean? And I think that's really important. But I want to add on to one of your things you were saying about nerves. The interesting thing about it is, I love, to answer Sideman's question more seriously, one of the inspirations behind it was Notting Hill, Love Actually, and then you go to the African-American base of Best Man,
Yes.
Love Jones, and I have for years in my acting career here heard, when are we going to have a Love Jones? When are we going to have our Notting Hill? And it has arrived, you know, through through my interpretation. But what's fascinating and amazing to me about those films, Notting Hill and Love Actually, I, as a black British Caribbean man, identify with the film because I identify with love. I identify with...
It's a universal theme, love.
It's a universal theme.
Yeah.
I identify with the comedy and the Britishness. And I think that our movies, I don't think were only made for the black audience.
Yes.
We happen to be black men and coming through our experience, but I made this film for England.
No, it's true because
to add on to the British culture of who we are.
It's very true. If I'm watching one of my favorite rom-coms, like I have all kinds of rom-coms that I love.
What's your favorite?
Definitely Maybe. It's probably my favorite one. It stars Ryan Reynolds. But if I see them eating lasagna in it, just because they're eating lasagna and not rice and peas and chicken, doesn't mean that I don't relate to the love scene that's going on in there, because the universal themes of love still count. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So just because it's coming through the lens of our culture doesn't mean that somebody can't find something to relate to.
I think ultimately, I'm so sorry to cut you, just to build onto Mel's point, because he's made a really good point, and that is that ultimately these are human stories.
Yeah.
You know, and if you write a human story, it can connect with everyone, and it should.
Yeah.
Which is why, you know, we are hoping for all audiences to find our films.
Yeah. Now, I love rom-coms, but interestingly enough, I also love nostalgia. Like, I love going back. I love the idea of going back. But when I've ever thought of, you know, making a film myself or anything like that, even a short film, I've always said to myself, I would never want to make it in the past just because of the difficulties that come with that. So I have to ask you, like, how was it taking on that challenge? How was it making sure that an iPhone 11 or an iPhone 12 never ended up in the shot and things like that?
I created a rod from my own back. I'm an idiot for doing it, basically. Where we made a tiny, small, low-budget British movie. Myself and Ameen had some of the same backers. BFI got behind my film. BBC Films did as well. And we didn't have a massive pot of money, but we had to make a film that was convincingly set in 1999. So, you know, it caused its own limitations in a lot of ways. Like, you can't make this shot too wide because we can only afford enough period cars to fill a shot this wide. So you have to change your shots. But in that, those limitations forced you to be creative and forced you to be smart about the things that you could lean into. So, for instance, in the last screening that we did at the BFI, and also at the premiere as well, in one of the first sequences with the boys, when one of the guys chats up a girl, he pulls out his phone and he pulls out a Motorola StarTAC. And in the mix, I know, exactly, it got a laugh. And in the mix, when we were actually mixing down the film, like, I quadrupled the volume of that sound when the phone opened, and it got the biggest laugh in the room. Because everyone remembers, and it's almost like, okay, cool. If we double down on props, on costume, on language, on things that we can control that are small, then we can win.
Yeah.
If we're trying to change a skyline and paint out the Shard, we ain't got money for that. We're killing ourselves. So yeah, it was about being smart, I think.
I wanted to ask about the casting and the casting process and how that went. We'll start with you, Ameen.
So Zeze auditioned for my movie.
And I didn't get the role.
And she didn't get the role, but Zeze is one of the stars of my movie. Are you not, Zeze? Let's give Zeze a round of applause for her acting debut. Bigger than that. Her mum said she'd never do it. Her mum said she'd never do it, and she's done it. All right, so I want to assemble like a super duper cast of, and my film is about multi-generational love. So you got the young boy who's finding love for the first time. You got my character who's fallen in love with this American girl, Asia Naomi King, but also has a previous relationship with Leanne Pinnock from Little Mix, or Georgia, not Leanne Pinnock. And then Marion Jean-Baptiste, who's this actor that's been around forever with Stephen Delane. So I wanted to assemble a really great ensemble cast to deal with different types of love. And we went wide, and there's so much amazing talent in the UK. And in general, the script is what won out. My script and the uniqueness of it and the space that existed in is what made people want to connect to it and actually and come forth.
How was the conversation with Leanne? You know, she's such a big star, you know, of Little Mix and everything like that. Yeah. What was the conversation like getting her on board, especially for an acting debut? We don't know her for acting, so that had to have been something that might have been nerve-wracking for her.
Do you know what's weird? I didn't know who Little Mix were.
I was waiting. I was wondering if he was going to tell the true story. Because you told me the other day. I was thinking, is he going to tell the true story?
It in front of everybody.
Go on. Because you should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm ashamed. I didn't know who Little Mix were. And then my writing partner...
He's literally British. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's Brit-esque.
I know. Yeah, I didn't know. And then my writing partner was like, he's American, which made it worse. He's like, man, there's this great girl, man, and I think she'd be great. She's from this group called Little Mix. I'm like, what's Little Mix? He goes, man, you got to check her out, man. She's great. She's phenomenal. I checked her out, saw her Instagram, and I thought, okay, she's got great following and stuff. And then we auditioned her, and she wasn't very good. Like, you know, she was an actor that wasn't strong because she'd never acted before. She's never even thought about it. And then I saw an interview of her, and I was breathtaking. She has such humanity and such natural pathos, and she's so connected to the truth of who she is. And I said, if I can get her to be that on screen, then we're in a win. And so then I met her, and we auditioned, and I started taking her through the process of what acting was. I took her through some of my favorite films, like My Best Friend's Wedding and Philadelphia Story, which is a 1944 classic. And I said, this is the performance I'm really looking for. And she worked her arse off in between like concerts and, well, she didn't have the baby yet, but like having concerts and all sorts to actually learn the craft. And then she studied with one of my acting coaches, and she hustled hard to get it right. And she would work all hours. And that truly is what, and Reggie knows, he's a former actor. Maybe you'll be in my second film, Reg. He's not coming back. But
Reggie said, no way.
to do acting well, and it's a real commitment to a truth, and you have to look inside yourself and ask questions of yourself. And often, actually, she would get overwhelmed by that, and it was beautiful to see. So it was a process, but it wasn't. I was more because she entrusted me to take on the journey, and I entrusted her to come on the journey. We had a journey of like faith and partnership, and we really rocked out together. And she's honestly, guys, she is really, really solid in the film and really, really breathtaking at times, especially as a first-time actor.
Nice.
With a lot of pressure on her head because she's like so famous, even though I didn't know who she was.
Didn't know. It's interesting when you talk about you know, that process, because this was your directorial debut, and I guess for both of you as well. So speak on that, what it was like to be a director and to act as well, and then what it was like to be a director for you as well.
First of all, I don't know how Amel not only wrote, directed, produced, and acted in his film. I don't know how you do all of those things, because...
Let's give Amel a round of applause. I'm joking. She was like, okay, all right, then I'll do it.
I mean, he deserves a round of applause, to be honest with you, because just directing alone is a lot. But as Amel touched on, you know, those years in Grange Hill definitely served me well as an actor. Being on set and being able to talk to actors from an actor's perspective, because yes, Grange Hill wasn't the only thing I did. I actually loved acting and was really passionate about it from the age of 8, and that is how I came into this business, but fell out of love with it when I stopped getting roles or stopped reading parts that were outside of, you know, the friendly black kid who's the best mate of the white lead. That was essentially what I kept going for over and over again. And it made me fall out of love with acting to the point that I started writing privately because I wanted to write the things that I wasn't seeing. So the minute that I found myself on set with these young men, I knew that I had a responsibility to give them what I didn't have. And that was to not only invest in the communication and the levels of collaboration that were there, but to also be the director that I always wished that I could be around, you know? And to create a set that I'd never seen. I mean, in short, essentially what I'm trying to say is I've been on every kind of set that you can think of, both as a documentary maker, an entertainment, live TV host, right the way through to being an actor. The sets that are run by the director that gets drunk at lunchtime, the sets that are run by the director who's everyone's dad and everybody loves. And for me, I always knew that I wanted to create a set that I wanted to be on. That if I was going to get up at 4 a.m. to go to work, I wanted to be there. And because of that, I feel like we created like what we have in the theatre, a company, a group of people that were there for each other and really backed each other. And all of the learnings from the other things I've did fed into it, which I'm sure was the same for you, because you pick up so much. Right?
I just wanted to touch on you being the director and going back to the casting, because obviously, was it deliberate that you picked people that were kind of relatively unknown? Was it something that you thought I have to do?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a choice. So the leads in the film are 3 18-year-old men, and there was a conversation between myself and my casting director, Shaheen Baig, who is absolutely incredible, one of the best casting directors, in my opinion, in this country. And Shaheen and I decided quite early on that we weren't going to go for known faces. We wanted to create a platform for new talent. And because of that, I think we found people that were really generous, that were willing to really go all out in terms of the collaborative energy and create what was and what is 3 best friends on screen that you just want to be friends with.
I think because that to me, that's actually quite brave, because I know I was watching something years ago, and it was what's it called? Freedom Writers, or it was one that Denzel Washington basically.
Freedom Writers.
Yeah, Freedom Writers, and he was saying as a director,
The Great Debaters is what it's called.
Great Debaters. I knew it was one of those, and he was basically saying that he had to star in it. Because he had relatively unknown people, like he had to star in it so that they would pick it up and people would actually want to go and watch it. So I know that when it comes to films, especially smaller films, people usually get bigger faces because they know, okay, they're going to bring in their following. So I think that's really brave of you to do that.
As I said, it was a decision, and we really believed in the script, and we really believed in who we cast, which is why, you know, we did the 80s thing at the end of the movie and gave everybody their card with their own title on it. So it's like, remember these names because everyone's going to go on to do stuff. I mean, one of my lead actors has already done 5 other projects since we wrapped.
Wow.
And Pirates isn't out till tomorrow. And one of them's with Steven Spielberg. So I know that these boys are going to go on to do huge, huge things. And I just love that people are going to be able to come back to this film in 15 years and go, they knew what they were doing. They chose right.
Nice.
Now, Ameel, as a director, was it hard to work with Ameen? Was it difficult to
It
deal
was
with him?
completely challenging to work with myself, yeah. To be honest, it's weird. I wrote a film that was close enough to myself in parts that I could segue out of thinking about my performance. I'm genuinely the type of...
So you're the type of guy that has a woman in 2 different countries. I understand what you're saying.
Wow.
Nice, man. Nice segue. I'm not a salacious character. But I'm the sort of person that I like to... when I'm acting generally, I immerse myself in it really intensely. Like right now, I've just come from playing Martin Luther King. I'm doing a Netflix movie. I'm doing like a biopic on his life. And the amount of immersion you have to do to get things right, it takes you away from yourself for a long time. What was amazing about Boxing Day is that for the first time in my career and the first time in a long time, I got to speak in a British accent, which all my roles are American, right? And then also I got to actually be amongst family and joy and culture and, you know...
That you're used to?
That I'm used to, you know? And I feel like that's why during making this film, during the height of COVID, it felt like a party. You know, it felt like we're having a good time. And I thought to myself, if I can get that to permeate through the screen and have an audience interact with it, that would make it what I hope it is, yeah.
Do you... You decided to go to America. You just left us here and decided to go over there and make all your dreams come true. So,
how dare he?
I know, right? How did it feel though to have so much British talent in your film? Do you get what I mean? Did it feel like, yeah, this is how it should have been when I was here? There should have been things like this when I was doing.
When I was doing.
Yeah. I
mean, I was a part of Kidulthood, and I was a part. So that was. I remember that feeling like home,
right?
You know, it's interesting. I think other cultures that are in England that get to shoot films, they're always around each other, so it kind of feels normal to them. Whereas Black British actors, because of what we've had to do around the world and we're kind of fragmented, we never, ever, ever work together.
Yeah.
And so that was really, really cool because we got to speak to, you know, the elders like Robbie G and Marion Jean-Baptiste about their experiences, and then the young ones coming up, and it felt very family vibed in that sense.
It's so annoying but we're out of time.
Already?
Yeah, and...
Oh, we got 5 minutes.
Okay.
In those 5 minutes, I would like, since, Reggie, what's your favourite old school garage song then?
Okay, that's a good question.
Perform it for us now.
Well, if there's any garage fans in here, when you go and see Pirates, there's a lot of classic garage records throughout, and we end the film on my favourite quite deliberately, which is Angel Gabriel, Pevin Everett, Roy Davis Jr. Classic.
How's it go?
You know how it goes.
I don't.
I actually don't.
I don't.
It's on your Spotify. There's a playlist called
Or on
Pirates
Amazon
Playlist.
Music.
Go check it out.
There
On
you go.
Amazon
You
Music.
can go on Amazon Music and find it there.
I don't know what that word was that he just said.
We don't know that other platform.
Yeah. That was crazy.
Whoopsie.
Whoopsie daisy.
Well, something just went out of my...
How does that song go?
Yeah, I wanted to know how the...
It's the one with the trumpets. Bum, 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 bum.
Oh,
Bum, ba-da-da.
oh yeah.
You got it out of him, God.
I didn't sing the lyric, though. I didn't sing the lyric. I did the melody.
So where can everybody watch your films? Where is it going to be? Let everybody know.
Both.
Both of you?
I'll start, I suppose, yeah. So Pirates is out tomorrow, November 26th.
Nice.
It is out everywhere. Thank you. It's everywhere. Odeon, View, Cineworld.
Are you going to go to the cinema and watch it in the back?
Well, tomorrow we're doing Q&As like in 3 different locations across the city on launch night. But yeah, 1,000,000%. I'm gonna go up and down the country and just sneak in and see how it's doing. But yeah, I mean we're everywhere. So everything from Little Independents to your picture houses to your Curzons, right away through to your Views, Cineworlds, Odeons, everything. So I just hope it finds an audience because I'm really proud of it.
Yeah.
Ameen? Pirates is out tomorrow, guys. Make sure you go and support that.
My brother, thank you.
Pirates is out tomorrow, guys.
November 26th.
Make sure you go and support that.
Please do.
The opening weekend is so important to films. Make sure you go and support that, man, for sure. Now, we have our premiere. You coming?
Me?
Yeah, you're in the movie. You coming?
Yes, I'm coming.
All right, good.
Jeez.
I mean, you're big time now, right?
I've got my outfit and everything.
Wicked. So our premiere is on Tuesday.
Yes.
And then it comes out December 3rd. Nationwide.
Okay.
And then
next Friday, right?
Actually, since we're on Amazon, I don't think I'm allowed to announce this, but fuck it. We have our release date in America, December 17th on Amazon Prime, which is amazing to me. We got picked up. So it's on Amazon Prime, December 17th.
That's massive.
And then December 3rd, nationwide in the UK. Now, please support it, because I'm going to get in trouble for that one right there. We're meant to have a press release. Sorry.
Well, what better way to release it on the actual platform?
Yes.
There you go. But no, honestly, I do actually encourage everybody to go and watch it because we don't, like you were saying at the beginning, at the top, we don't have films like this. Do you get what I mean? And often people will say, oh, we're always put in a negative light. And so when films are actually made, we're in a good light and there's different stories being told, I should say, people should definitely go to support. So make sure you support it.
And they are good films. And I think that they're made for the audience. They weren't made for us selfishly. It was made for the audiences in mind. So have a good time, man, and have a great holiday and Merry Christmas, one and all.
Yeah, exactly. Please go and see the films. Again, we just have to remind you, 26th for Pirates, December 3rd. We're a week apart and we'd love your support. And like I said in the last time that we've done this, it's really important that you guys support these films because if they find an audience, so many more filmmakers like us will be given the opportunity to do the same thing. So
that's a fact.
It's bigger than just us.
Yes.
Please go and see these films.
I don't want a lot for Christmas.
I need and
Can I tell you a secret, right? So I try and avoid that song every year because that song makes me angry.
What?
Right? No, it makes me
I
furious.
don't want to call my
a lot of that is because I hosted the chart show or radio one for years. I was Top of the Pops for 20 years.
Call the gal them on
It makes me sick to my stomach. And this is the first time this year I've heard that song.
My dreams come true.
Thank you for ruining my life. You know what I mean?
all I want for Christmas.
Okay, guys, unfortunately, we have come to the end of the show.
Get drunk though.
Okay, thank you to Reggie and Ameen for joining us, and thank you for the audience and Twitch viewers for watching. If you missed any of the conversation, you can watch back on Twitch.
Yes, and remember, if you're in London and want to stop by Amazon Black Friday Live or watch from the comfort of your own home, you can find all the details, including opening hours, schedule, live streams, and ticket information available at www.amazon.co.uk/Black Friday Live.
And finally, if you want to hear from me and Sideman, of course
Obviously.
you do, you can listen to all of our Plus44 podcast episodes in the Amazon Music app and follow us on Instagram at Plus44UK, where you can catch loads of exclusive content.
Exactly. I'm Sideman.
And I'm Zeze Millz.
And this has been the Plus44 podcast. Peace.
Woo!